Hello everyone, I'm Ronald Mehta and welcome back to marketing91.com. We provide management and marketing training to students and professionals worldwide through our courses, videos and community. This video is part of our comprehensive take on the gamut of human resource management. Let's start with the gamut of employee motivation. Well, the video entails the following topics, starting off with the introduction, case studies of brands such as Red Bull, Google and Starbucks, forms and types of motivation such as internal and external, also known as intrinsic and extrinsic, ways to motivate your employees, and finally the advantages of having motivated employees. Let's start with the introduction. Well, if you define employee motivation, it is the level of energy, eagerness, inventiveness and dedication that an employee brings to their workplace. We could see this with some examples, starting with the first one of Red Bull. Well, Red Bull's informal and party atmosphere engages, motivates and retains employees. In a podcast on YouTube, interviewer Tom McCluskey asked former Formula One senior systems engineer Dan whether he ever thought about moving or leaving Red Bull for other teams such as the McLaren or Mercedes. Well, Dan, who had worked for 6 years with Red Bull, mentioned that he declined a job offer from Mercedes due to their very formal and uptight culture. He even mentioned that Red Bull employee who took up the offer at Mercedes quit in 6 months and rejoined Red Bull. As stated by Dan, Mercedes are very much like this, a very corporate entity. He further stated, when you have to go into the factory, you have to wear your Hugo Boss shirt and all. So the way of motivating employees at Red Bull is their informal and party work atmosphere. Moving on to another example of Starbucks. Well, Starbucks provides additional perks to its non-union employees. In an effort to quell the labor movement among its employees, Starbucks is dangling a fresh incentive in front of its non-union staff. No company likes unionization. This lucrative incentive is savings help and a loan management benefit. The world's largest coffee company said that the perks would increase employees' financial security. Let's see how. The company has made significant changes to its operations in recent months, including new pay and benefit plan for employees as well as a new management structure. They came after the previous one when non-union retail employees received pay raises that brought their hourly wages to an aggregate over $17. Moving further. According to the business, it has spent about $1 billion on new pay and benefit plans for the current fiscal year. With the aim of assisting employees in saving money, Starbucks has partnered with the financial institution Fidelity to create My Starbucks Savings. Employees will have the option to put some of their post-tax income into a personal savings account. The business will provide up to $250 in a range of $25 and $50 credits to each employee to encourage such savings. Moving further, the business also said that through tuition.io, it would also be able to provide a way to help manage student loans. The perk, which includes new technologies, resources, and private coaches, will assist employees in managing their payments on student loans. Additionally, there has been added new possibilities for refinancing and debt payback. Moving on to another example of Google's way of motivating employees who have failed in a project. The novel method used by Google to motivate and reward underperforming employees. As stated in a Fast Company article, Google staff members receive open praise from their co-workers and managers for their mistakes and are frequently rewarded with time off to consider what their forthcoming project will be. Here are just a few explanations for why Google and a number of other such businesses encourage failure inside their own teams and motivate their employees. Well, honoring mistakes promotes creativity. Google is aware that apprehension about failing is among the most significant barriers to the invention, and this can discourage people from trying out novel concepts. Astro Teller, the director of X, formerly known as Google X, which is a research arm of Alphabet, Teller contends that encouraging failure encourages innovation among staff members. Teller said, "If I make you feel stupid because you tried something new and did not work out, you are never going to try something new again. But if we create a culture together where you feel stupid because you haven't tried something new this week, you are going to try something new every week." Moving further. As per Teller, whenever individuals are scared to admit their mistakes, instead of ending their initiatives as soon as possible, they may stick to them for sentimental or political reasons, or they could even invest additional funds into an untenable endeavor. Moreover, that is precisely what forward-thinking businesses need in their team members, individuals who are open to trying new ideas and who thereby innovate. The fact that it encourages people to abandon projects when they find a critical flaw is another advantage of celebrating failure, as stated by Teller. This results in time and financial savings. Well, as stated before, Google was not the only company to embrace this kind of failure. The developer Supercell, who created the well-known online video game Clash of Titans, honors work blunders by popping up a bottle of bubbly. P&G, a $1 billion worldwide consumer products corporation, has the coveted Heroic Failure Award, which is granted to personnel with the largest failures, is one of P&G's most illustrious achievements. According to reports, several other businesses also provide their own variations of the honor. Now moving on to the types of forms of employee motivation, where broadly there are two types: intrinsic and extrinsic, also known as internal or external. Moving forward, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation are the two types of motivation that an employee can have. As a result, a business has to know and accept that its employees are not carbon copies of each other, but rather unique individuals with unique features. Therefore, in order to properly motivate your employees, you must gain a more excellent grasp of the many types and methods of motivation. As a result, you'll be able to classify your employees more accurately and use the proper motivation to raise employee engagement and satisfaction levels. Extrinsic motivation may be more effective for some employees, while intrinsic motivation may be more operative for others. Let's take a stab at each one of them briefly, first looking at the internal motivation, or also known as the intrinsic motivation. An individual is motivated internally when they exhibit intrinsic motivation, because the outcomes are aligned with his or her ethics. They wish to perform well at work. Therefore, the most substantial motivating variables are typically a person's deeply held principles. These people share traits that are common to one another, like inquisitiveness, acceptance, integrity, and aspiration for accomplishment. According to research, giving positive feedback to employee and appreciation for a job well done both improve intrinsic motivation. Moving on to the next one, and my personal favorite is external motivation or extrinsic motivation, which can bring out immediate results. In contrast, extrinsic motivation refers to a person's motivation being sparked from outside sources like rewards and acknowledgement. Because of this, some people may never feel internally motivated, and only external incentives would help them complete their objectives. According to a study, extrinsic benefits may also occasionally increase a person's readiness to pick up new skills. Additional benefits, incentives, prizes, and other types of rewards can also inspire people or offer them with concrete feedback. Moving on. Now let's look at the ways to motivate employees. First, career pathing. Employees must have a growth plan on the professional front with duties and responsibilities that are specified explicitly. For that reason, be sure to have face-to-face interactions with each employee and develop a career plan that is openly shared and understood. Next, empowerment. Employees are more capable of handling the duties for which they are accountable and have a greater sense of control when they are given more accountability and decision-making power. At number 3, financial incentives. Despite the promotion of alternative motivators, money continues to play a significant role in the mix of motivators. Employees are encouraged to manufacture high-quality goods, render high-quality services, or enhance the quality of internal processes by receiving a portion of company's profits. Employees immediately profit from actions that improve the business, so it's pretty transparent. At number 4 is additional rewards. Employees will be more strongly motivated under managers who celebrate their small steps toward achieving goals. Encourage participative or collaborative settings and treat them impartially and with respect. The best incentives always promote personal satisfaction and self-respect. Examples of such incentives include letters of appreciation, time off from work, and many more. Over time, genuine compliments and thoughtful acts of kindness are much more efficient and cost-effective than monetary rewards alone. At number 5, pick the best leaders. Motivating employees depends on choosing the ideal leaders for each position. Effective leaders have the ability to engage highly and motivate their employees. At number 6, develop your managers. To maintain extraordinary intensities of employee motivation, management has to adopt ongoing coaching and development. This is because the traits and motivating elements of employees vary altogether, with the workforce on a constant rotation basis. At number 7, set clear and attainable engagement goals. Precise and quantifiable engagement aims and objectives should be delegated by managers and leaders. Transparent objectives give employees a push to accomplish them. At number 8, recognize a job well done. The relationship between the employer and employee can be strengthened by recognition. At number 9, pay attention to intrinsic rewards as we discussed earlier. Extrinsic incentives quickly wear off, so additionally put extra energy into employees' intrinsic motivation. At number 10, independence, not bureaucracy. The most awful thing a boss can do is micromanage. Be a facilitator, not a dictator. For example, if employees with specific talent sets are hired, let them handle their work. And finally, ask for suggestions and then take action on them. Upon hearing from your employees about their opinions after conducting surveys, guarantee a prompt response and a resolution of the complaints, ideas, and suggestions they have presented. In this way, you will keep them motivated if you get these 11 points in place. Now let's look at the advantages of motivated employees. At number 1, greater productivity. Increased involvement and engagement frequently results in increased productivity. As a result, organizations with driven workforces frequently perform more and better than others. As a matter of fact, a study on employee motivation by the Hay Group found that workplaces with engaged staff members are 43% more effective or productive. Next, are more effective teammates. Most motivated workers are most likely to be team players than solo performers because they are inspired by the company's aims and objectives. Next, motivated employees also improve their ability to manage uncertainty. Motivated workers are a lot more involved, and because of this, they are more assured in their abilities. As a result, they are aware of how to respond to challenging circumstances. More adept at solving problems. The majority of employers value individuals who can solve problems. Motivated employees will put in more effort to address issues and overcome obstacles. Next, they become more proactive. Motivated workers actively seek out fresh approaches to overcome obstacles and accomplish objectives. They regularly assess their own work and do not wait for criticism. Next, strive to accomplish the company's objectives. Motivated employees care about accomplishing team and organizational goals in addition to their own objectives. Next, they continue working for the company longer, as in more loyalty. One of the main issues with the workforce is fluctuation. Employee retention rates are 87% higher in companies with engaged workers. And finally, they are more flexible and accepting of change. Every organization aspires to have employees who are agile, as in flexible. Employees that are highly motivated are more adaptable to change and find it easier to quickly adopt to an agile working style. So that's it, folks. This brings an end to the topic on the gamut of employee motivation. These are the list of sources and links referred to for our content in the video. Thank you and stay tuned for more videos.